I know follow-ups can be overwhelming and a little unsure of what to do next. So in this video, we're gonna help you home service companies understand and structure a follow-up process that'll work for you. Hey everybody, I'm Mike Claudio, owner of WinRate Consulting and the host of the Big Stud Sales Podcast, and I am a business/sales coach for home service companies. I do that for a living. Follow-up is one of the biggest hurdles that I have to help my clients overcome. So this video is gonna be a much broader outline with some tactical things you can implement so that you don't miss what I believe is the most important part of the sales process. The entire process starts at the end of the first in-home meeting. The last thing you need to do before every meeting you run is set next steps with deadlines. And what that looks like in the conversation with the client is, I'm gonna get you a proposal by, if I don't hear from you, I'll plan to follow up on. It's pretty straightforward, but sounds very conversational. Hey, I'm gonna get you a proposal on Wednesday. Is it okay with you if I follow up on Friday? And getting that permission based, getting them to agree to that next step makes it super easy for you to not feel like you're bothering them or not feel like you're overstepping your bounds a little bit because they've already given you permission to do it. So that is the absolute first step in the process, is reverse engineering that timeline based on their decision process. If they said, no, actually give me an additional week, now you know you can schedule it for a week later and they're expecting your phone call. And it makes it a lot easier for you to overcome that hurdle of, I feel like I might be bothering them or I don't want to be too pushy. That's those are two of the biggest things I hear when dealing with my clients around when and how to follow up. So you've set the next steps, you got their buy-in on the process of when to follow up. Now, how do you make sure that you execute on it? Because this is the biggest thing when it comes to the industry of home service companies. The clients assume or have risk or have reservation about you not following through on what you say you're gonna do. So the minute you get back in your car, put it in your calendar on when to follow up with that client. And then make sure you follow through on that. Something as simple as saying them in that meeting, I'll follow up with you on Friday. They might be expecting that phone call. And if they don't get it, you basically fit the mold of exactly what they thought you were gonna be, and they have lost a little bit of respect, a little bit of their own reservation comes up into their forefront, and now they're even more hesitant around hiring you compared to the guy who did call when they said they were going to. When following up, it is a little selfish of you. It is about you moving that client or that prospect to becoming a client. But when you have the conversation with them, make it about them. Clients only make decisions based on their own priorities. So presenting that next follow-up conversation is, hey, no rush on your end, but if we want to hit the deadline you said you wanted, or you want to hit the completion date you said you wanted, client, I just need to know by next week. No problem if you can't make a decision by then, but just understand and appreciate your deadlines won't be able to be hit based on our production processes. That's a lot better than saying, hey, I need to know right now if you want it done. It's, hey, if you want it done in your time frame, the time frame you decided that you wanted it done by, I need to know by here so that I can meet your expectations. And not only does that sound more professional, but it makes it show and it makes it look like you are incredibly concerned with their priorities, which makes them just grow that much more trust for you. You as the contractor or the home service company, you need clients and you need to move the right clients through your sales process. And this is a mindset shift that I talk and coach a lot of people through. And it basically goes like this. If you do everything right, you show up on time, you deliver value-added suggestions in the meeting, you set proper next steps, you deliver a professional proposal, you follow up when you said you did all those things right, you deserve an answer. You deserve to know yes or no. And that's how I overcame the how long and how often to follow up. And I've even said, hey, I met all of your expectations at this point. I deserve an answer on what's going to happen next. Yes or no. If you went another direction, that's fine. But that mindset about, and it is a little entitlement, but ultimately there are a lot of really bad contractors and home service companies out there. And if you're doing your job right with empathy and integrity, and you're showing up on time and you're doing things right, you deserve an answer. So when it comes to the follow-up process, it is okay to continue asking until you get an answer, because you deserve to know. So what is the right follow-up structure, right? It depends a little bit around what type of industry are you in and what is a typical decision timeline. If you're a restoration company, it's incredibly reactive. They need to make a decision now. They have a leak or a fire or a water issue now. So in that case, it would be, I'd follow up every day for like 7 days. If it's more of a project style, a kitchen remodel, an addition, big ticket items like a crawl space or a roof, some of those things that are not insurance driven will take more time. And you want to be cognizant of that. Part of it is asking, like we said in the first meeting, what is your decision process and when do you plan to make a decision by, so that we can reverse engineer the process, i.e. when do certain things need to happen. But let's say you sent the proposal, you did everything right, and they've ghosted you. What do you do when they've ghosted you? Here's my process. Again, not restoration. Restoration is every day till you get an answer, because they have to make a decision quickly. But in more of the project, want to have type things like kitchens, bathrooms, additions, it's once a week for a month. So say every Friday for 1 month, every other week for the second month, and then once a month for the following 4 months until I get an answer. And I'll even go up to and including, hey, let me know if you made a decision to go another route, and I'll take you off my follow-up list. And that structure of every week for a month, every other week for 2 months, and then every month for 3 months. I said it wrong to begin with, but that's the process. So when you have that built out, you can just put it in your calendar, and when you have your follow-up time schedule, which we will do a video on time management, you know exactly who you need to talk to that week because you built out the process from the beginning. So one more time, every week for a month, every other week for 2 months, and then every month for 3 months. That's a 6-month process, and I can't tell you how many times in that 5th or 6th month they said, hey Mike, sorry, been busy, let's get going. It happened for a client of mine literally 2 weeks ago. He had a project he proposed in September. He followed up and followed up and followed up, and now we're at the end of January, and they said, hey man, just forgot about you. Yeah, we're ready to go, and here's the deposit. Right? It doesn't hurt you, and it doesn't take a lot of time to follow up, but again, you earned it, you deserve to know, you earn the right for that business. It's your responsibility to follow up appropriately, or at least at all and consistently, so that you can give yourself the best chance to win the business. So that was a simple and kind of high level route about follow-up. I know it's tough, but there's 3 main points I want you to remember. Use permission-based follow-up. Ask, is it okay if I follow up? And this starts in the first meeting. When you're gonna follow up, how you're gonna follow up, i.e. style. Voicemail, text message, email, whatever they want, ask them. Set a structure in your calendar, right? Schedule the next steps. I live by my calendar, and like I said earlier, we're gonna get into more of a time management video at a later date, but get it in your calendar, or get it on your reminder list, or get it in your task manager, whatever you're doing to manage those next steps, or those activities or those to-do items, put it there. Build out a structure that works for you. I told you what mine is. Every week, every other week, every month, for a certain amount of time. Figure out what works for you. And sometimes, like I said, with the restoration, it has to be a little bit quicker because those decision processes are quicker. But figure out the way your clients make decisions and then implement a follow-up process that works for them. Trust me, the fortune is in the follow-up. I have proven that for the last 10 years. I have closed as much business in follow-up as I have done without. So it is incredibly, incredibly important. But as always, guys, please like, please subscribe, please check out the podcast, Big Stud Sales. We put out weekly episodes and it's going really well. It's growing fast and we'd love for your support there. Comment below with what your reservations are about follow-up, and I might be able to help you through that or overcome that mindset of you deserve an answer if you did everything right. And if you're not doing everything right, reach out. Let me see what I can do for you. Let me see how I can help you create the business that you've been looking for. We appreciate you and looking forward to seeing you in the next one.